And I am Lisa Riley. Welcome, family. I am the founder of Hermana, launched here in 2022. We are a platform supporting Black and Mexican small female owned businesses, and we help educate, market, promote, and network with each other during our holistic mind, body, and soul healing journey here in Mexico. And I am so honored and excited to co host this year's virtual conference with Prepared Nations in this beautiful country of Mexico with our primos and primas in the midst of this new global paradigm shift that we're experiencing right now. Right, Mikhail? It's very exciting right now.
Yes, it's a great global paradigm shift. And like I said, we're speaking about the Afro Mexican connections today. I don't know if too many people are aware or know, but it's a dynamic group of people who identify as being African born in Mexico, so we're going to be able to share and come across that information today. And our goal today is to raise awareness around cooperatives, why Black and original people are beginning to gravitate towards co-ops. We're also looking to promote cooperative travels throughout the African diaspora.
We really hope that you guys enjoy the content and material today. And let me introduce today's chat moderator, Kingdom Tut. He is owner of Good Juju, Good Vibes, and co-lead of Repaired Nations in the San Francisco Bay Area. King?
Yes. Am I coming through, Queen?
Yes.
Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome. Oh, it's so beautiful to be Black in the space with you all. Such a beautiful panel, and I see all your beautiful faces. Just smile for a second. We are here. I just want to say grand rising to everyone, and just let everybody know we do want to hear from you all while we facilitate. This is a collective conversation, okay? So please use the chat freely. All right, there's just a couple of rules now, okay? So one, this is a safe space for all. No matter your lifestyle or ideology or what you call yourself, this is a safe, we're family here, okay? Can we all agree upon that? Put some hearts in the chat, okay? Number two, be respectful to everyone's opinion. We're here talking, we want to build and we want to share with one another. So be respectful, and you can add your own flavor to the conversation, but respect is the principle. And number three, definitely no profanity. We have royal people here. Let's use our vocabulary and speak from the heart and be smart. Okay, family. So with that, I will pass it back to the co-host, and let's get into this conversation. Back to you, Lisa.
Shay, speak from the heart. I love that, brother. For today's flow, we will have 6 sessions that will cover building community in Mexico. We'll be doing 20-minute workshop sessions with different speakers and questions and answers at the end. The event will be recorded, so you can watch again or refer your friends to Repaired Nation's YouTube channel. And be sure to subscribe to that YouTube channel. We're going to be looking for y'all. Mikhail.
Yes. And thank you, Lisa, for collaborating with Repaired Nations, with Hermana. And we want to thank all our guests, all our speakers, all the artists for joining us today as well. And before we get started, we want to ground ourselves properly, get our energy right as early in the morning so we can get ourselves together. And to do that, we have Aisha Shahid, co-founder of AK Holistic Health and Wellness, along with Marisol Sachi, owner of Cooperative. And they'll be leading us with a drum circle, also a libation. And Aisha is going to give us a short presentation on the Afro Mexican Connection to get started for today. So Aisha and Marisol, y'all there?
Yes, we're here.
Okay, blessings.
skies, heart of the earth, heart of humanity. Here we are. Heart of the sky, heart of the earth, heart of humanity. Here we are. Heart of the sky, heart of the earth, heart of humanity. Here we are. Great Mother, Great Father, Great Formator, Great Creator. Here we are with our humble spirits in service of humanity. Grant us, dear Creator and Formator, guardians of the seven directions. Grant us for permission to start our work in our service today. Grant us with the good guidance to open hearts to do the best of our intentions to create a new earth, a new union in between brothers and sisters from all the seven corners of the world. Thank you to the East, thank you to the West, thank you to the South, thank you to the North, thank you from above, thank you from below, thank you from the center.
Peace and love, grand rising to everybody who's on this call. My name is Aisha Shahid, and today I'll be leading everybody in Libations. So if you do not know what Libations is, I'm going to tell you today. And so from my younger generation, if you ever seen Boys in the Hood, and to my older generation, if you ever seen Cruelly High, in both of those movies, you'll see somebody pouring out a libation for a spirit for one of their lost family members and friends in the movie, and that's what point libation is. So today we're going to use water as a conduit to call in the energy and bring in all of our good ancestors, okay? So this is a great time for everybody to be active. You can even take your video off of mute. And right now we're going to speak all the names of our direct bloodline ancestors, the good ones, the one who paved the way for us, the ones who are allowing us to be here right now, the ones who continue to rock with us and guide us and support us, and the ones who are leading us on our journey right now. We speak their names. And so I'm going to start with my most recent ancestor, Baba Fana. And we say Ashe to confirm the energy into this space, okay? So everybody's on the call or if you're in this room right now, speak the names of your good ancestors. Ashe, 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 Elohim Islam, Ashe.
Negative 5 Jackson.
More Ashe.
We are LA 5.
Ashe. Element Ashe. Ashe. Now we're going to call the names of all of our collective ancestors, okay? So we have Martin Luther King Jr., we say Ashe.
Hey.
Tubman, we say Ashe. Sojourner Truth, we say Ashe. Ashe. Malcolm X, we say Ashe. Yakanan, we say Ashe.
Ashe.
Kenan Zinga, we say Ashe. And to all the names we do not know, the ones who continue to walk with us and protect us, the ones who are continuing this fight for our liberation and our freedom, we say Ashe. 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 Oh. Thank you so much. This is my good brother Twig, right here from Playa del Carmen. I met him here by on my journey here, a great djembe master instructor. And so we want to thank you for being here and sharing the energy with us. Thank you so much. So my name is Aisha Shahid. I'm 32 years old from Houston, Texas. And about 15 months ago, I made a really big decision for myself to move out of the state. I was going through a very transformative time in my life. I really served the community as a yoga instructor and many other things, a community organizer. And one of the elders in the community had actually transitioned. And when that happened, my whole life started to transition. And so I said, am I going to pay rent again in the States, or am I going to move out the States and do something different for myself? And so December of 2021, I actually sold a lot of my things, my car, and then that following 2 months in February, I moved to Mexico. I moved to Playa del Carmen, not really knowing what I was getting into, why I was being called to come here. I just followed spirit. When I arrived to Playa del Carmen, I saw a plethora of American Africans in Mexico, and it made me wonder, why have we all migrated, one, out of the country, but two, to Mexico and in this particular area? And so I was called by spirit to begin to start doing some research on just the Africans who came to Mexico. And I found out so much information that we were not taught in school and in history and in the States. And so I'm so happy that we're having this virtual conference so we can learn more about our part that we played here in Mexico and why we're coming back to Mexico, Aisha. And so since the early 1400s, Africans have been in Mexico, whether it was the enslaved Africans or the freed Africans who were in the States already. As early as the 1500s, the second president of Mexico is half African. That's something that we were not taught in school, and it's something that many Mexicans were not taught in school as well. His name was Vicente Ramon Guerrero. He was half African as well. And so he also was the one who abolished slavery for the Africans who did come through the, from Africa, through the slave trade. And that's powerful, to be half African and to make a powerful decision like that for your nation on a national level. That speaks volumes on how much he cared for his own people, as he was half African. Just in 2015, did they do a census in Mexico? And on that census was the first time that Mexicans could identify as Afro-descendants. 1,380,000 Mexicans identified as Afro-Mexican. That's amazing. We would never have known that they were here in this space for that long. And with all of the mixing that was done too, back then, a lot of the African community just got mixed in with the culture and with the Mexicans, so they become kind of washed out. And so we're here just to bring back that energy back to the space. Africa is also considered the third root of Mexico, referring to the African influence that we've had since being here. So from horchata to sancocho, which is a vegetable soup, to the music from Veracruz, the son jorocho, which is a fusion of Spanish and African rhythms, all the way down to bananas and plantains and hibiscus and rice and peanuts. The Africans have cultivated these things and brought them here to Mexico, and we shared. And so being here, I've been able to meet so many indigenous people, the Mayans, and them letting us know that we were here, we're very much alike, and we have a purpose here as well, right? And so just 3 months ago, and I'll go back, just 2 years ago, I met my biological father. And just 3 months ago, I found out that my great-great-grandmother on that side is half Mexican. Her father is Mexican. So I feel like my ancestors brought me here to continue this work, to learn where I come from so I can know where I'm going, right? And so I give thanks to the ancestors, to the guardians of this land, that not only are we visitors here, but we also belong here. And so that starts with doing the work, connecting with the locals here, immersing in the culture, which is how I was able to meet Twig and Marisol here. And we're doing major work in the community, just bringing everybody together. Thank you, Sister Lisa Rowley, for starting Hermana, which is a collective for African women and Latina women to come together in their small business entrepreneurship. It's bridging the gaps We've been so far removed from each other, but we're just alike. We've both been colonized. We're the same. We are one. And I want to give thanks to everybody on this call again for being here and being a part of this history. It's more history being made. And so give thanks to everybody. I hope everybody enjoys this call today. So I want to turn it back over to the host, and thank you so much.
Yes, give thanks. Give thanks to Aisha and Marisol for that beautiful drum libation and history as well. And Marisol, I wanted to bring up a question to you. This is a conversation that was brought up during our run of show. We was speaking of the word indigenous and speaking about that word being used to identify with people originally from Mexico. And Marisol has something to say about that as far as that word not being a proper term maybe to use to describe the original people from Mexico. So can you give us a little bit of history about that, or the proper term you're supposed to use, Marisol?
Thank you for that question. So, one second.
¿Puedes apagar tu micrófono?
The Council of the First Nations in Spanish, we agreed to call ourselves First Nations in English, and in Spanish, Pueblos Originarios. Since the word aborigines or indigenous, it's a Western word to identify ourselves, but it's outside definition for ourselves. So we, as a council, we give our names First Nations in English and Pueblos Originarios, which it's just the term for defining the nations, the governments, the high civilizations that were already in these countries, in these lands, before the other people came and named us from outside. So that's all we have to say. Thank you. And we all come from a First Nation. From all over the world, there were always First Nations before Western mind comes in, try to impose different thinking. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Marisol, for that clarification. So Pueblo Originalis is, yeah, the way that we want to give respect to that word. And yeah, give thanks. Lisa, you got anything you want to add?
Wow. So I'm about to cry because this is so powerful. And Aisha helped me with Hermana last year, and I launched Hermana at Marisol's location, her space, Kokoyamas. And so to have us come full circle today to show how we can partner together, build together, try and build businesses together, and understand each other culturally is just so powerful. So thank you, my favorite Hermana. Thank you, Aisha. Aisha knows I cry a lot. And Marisol, my love, thank you for being here today. And thank you for the grounding. Thank you for bringing us into this whole universal gathering. And thank you for educating us. We're going to have more education around the true meaning of all the diverse cultures and indigenous cultures in Mexico. So thank you. Mikkel, you got it.
Yes. Yes. So thank you again, you lovely ladies, for the great performance and the great history. And yeah, like Lisa was saying, she founded her business, Hermana, to help and work collectively with women out in Mexico. And I'm a part of Cooperative Repair Nations. We're in collaboration with Hermana put this event together. And right now we want to give an opportunity to give a history of Repair Nations for folks who may not know about Repair Nations. And for that, we have our brother Tut Kingdom, one of the co-founders of Repair Nation. He's gonna give us an overview of Repair Nations and a cooperative business model. And so, Brother Tut, you wanna hop on and give us some information, brother?
Absolutely. I just want to give a round of applause for all the love that I feel and the knowledge being dropped. It's been some gems. It's only been 30 minutes, family. And it's been some gems we can really take away and share and add to our crown and pass down. But first, I want to say I'm looking at the panelists. It's a beautiful selection of panelists, but I want to see some of the participants, people that are here. If you can, please jump on the screen. This is a family conversation. We all here sitting down. I don't care if you're in your gown, if you got your hoop shorts on, pull up. Let's see that black smile as we get more into why are we here today. Okay, so first off, we're working on something with Repair Nations, right? Zoom culture before COVID, work, especially in the Bay, just to stay alive, you got to work more than 45 hours a week. So what we're working on doing right now is highlighting our humanity first. So we're going to spend at least 2 minutes just kind of calming ourselves and breathing. All right, first minute is going to be some deep breaths. Breathe into your solar plex. Okay, the one thing we all have in common that we exchange that's more valuable than anything else besides time is the breath. So breathe in. Just experience this with each other. How many times do we get to just stop and deep breathe with one another? We're doing it. No matter where you at, just breathe. Calm yourself. Ground yourself. Unite. Yes, we're working for a better tomorrow. Yes, we're working to stand on the shoulders of our ancestors more effectively. Yes, we're working to keep the lights on and cook them collard greens, but we're working to live, to thrive, right? So just breathe in. Last minute, we're going to do a quick meditation. And what we've been focusing on this week is just unity. Okay, meditate on unity for a second, okay? And as your mind tries to travel, run back, keep time, moderators, I know you want to do that. Just for 30 seconds, think about how tethered we are to one another, how we share, how we love, right? 20 seconds. Just relax. You're breathing. 10 seconds. Come back into space. Much love. Really appreciate every one of you that participated. We're about to get in for the next so many minutes. Before we do that, we do want to introduce ourselves to folks who may not know who we are and reintroduce ourselves to folks who may have known us in the past. We are Repair Nations. We are a Pan-African network of support and resources that catalyzes the growth of cooperative ventures for a thriving and resilient future. We are living potentiality, every one of us, embodying an infinite sense of possibility. Repair Nations, we provide the network training, funding, infrastructure, supportive infrastructure to cultivate a successful Pan-African cooperative ecosystem. Our values are cooperative ownership, clarity, compassion, patience, simplicity, support, integrity, regenerative economics, and an emergent strategy. Our principles are, stand as, and always will be. 7 of them. Pay attention. Always set up a win-win-win game. High challenge, high support, high courage resolve. Masterful money mindset. Focus on purpose. Don't get stuck on identity. Be count ownable. Generously communicate for clarity. And global liberation through Pan-African liberation. Thank you, family. And let's get into it. Who is Repair Nations? What do we do? Well, we have a long, rich history. We're coming up on our half a decade. And I'm telling you, family, it has been one heck of a ride. We have went internal, external, deep into the roots of the Bay, into the hoods, to the woods, even out to Ghana, before COVID and everything. But most of all, we went into a space with one another that is so rich and so is another word besides ancient that I want to use in respect to what we're building right now, but it's more universal, is our collective efforts, our collective will, and our determination, the things that we collectivize as valuable, right? We went there. Repair Nation started off with as an idea, as a focus. One of our founding members, Brother Greg, brought to this community the idea of cooperation. Now, it's been going on. We have examples of that over here in the Bay. Shout out Mandela Grocery. of folks forming a cooperative business. Now, how can business lead to liberation? We'll get to that in a minute. So prior to Brother Greg, which is our founder, coming to bring this idea, this rich history of cooperation, many of us, myself included, looked at co-ops as a European thing. Co-ops as being something, it was cool to shop out there, had good prices. Why not go to Walmart though? A little cheaper. Didn't understand what we were paying for, didn't understand the service we were getting. With co-ops, we believe that is one of the vessels that can lead us towards total freedom and liberation. So we, Pair of Nations, our purpose is to create redress for historic trends of colonization and oppression through cooperative training and development for collective ownership. 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 You know how many of us, pause, are very uncomfortable with ownership, of having to take on that responsibility individually? Our focus is collectivizing that effort and spreading out that, I wouldn't say burden, but that task, that heavy task of lifting not only your family's burden, but the burden that weighs on all of us. Let's continue. So initially, we Pair of Nations, we started off to focus on building wealth in Black communities, Black and brown communities, by giving youth the tools needed to remain rooted. There was a big exodus, a big migration going on after 2015 in the Bay. Cost of living rose substantially. Rent went from $800 from a one-bedroom to $1,600 overnight. Black folks we were pulling our hairs out. Because for one, we just fought for a higher raise, but for two, they just slapped the cost of living down on us. So being able to sustain, to stay, to acquire land and having access to capital was very important, right? I told you I'm gonna tie in why business is tied to liberation through what we're doing, okay? Let's get back to it. How do we do this? We did this through book clubs. How many people in the chat have heard about the book club, Collective Courage? Collective Courage is a beautiful read from Professor Jessica Gordon-Nimhart that covers all the way from the 1700s, maybe a little bit more, of the legacy, the trial, and I wouldn't say error because we really been failing forward, but the building on the wits, the courageous efforts of Black folks working cooperatively in this country and connecting also in other aspects of other around the world, right? Just continue. So if you haven't heard about the book, please check it out. We have a book club that we do yearly that's centered around collective courage. Through that, we started to develop workshops and programs and trainings, some of what you're seeing today, the conference. Back in 2019, we took 30 plus Black identified, brown identified folks from all over the country to Ghana. And I'm telling you, family, we learned firsthand that culture-wise, we had it. It's in our nature. But being in this environment, this divisive environment, kind of lulled us to sleep. We drank some of the Kool-Aid, right? So going to Ghana gave us a cultural experience of what does cooperation looks like in a nation. And I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure many of you who went to Mexico and viewed it coming from the States had the same aha moment I had. That wow, even though they can say we ain't got it, third world or poverty stricken, but family values, roles, generational support, youth being guided, they had it in large chunks. And we went and we developed a program to continue to send people back. We will be going Black again to Ghana if you are interested. I think maybe we are closed, but you will be there in spirit. You'll be there in Zoom, thank God. And if you want to meet us out there, you're more than welcome. But let's stay focused because we have a whole lot to cover in a few minutes. I'm not going to take you all over the world. We're going to keep you right here. The ultimate goal, though, of Repair Nations is to build a global network of cooperatively run enterprises that trade amongst each other and create intergenerational wealth for families and communities. Our immediate goal was to educate youth of color in the Bay Area about cooperative enterprises and develop necessary infrastructure to cultivate development in under-resourced, disadvantaged communities. Through our organization, we are connected with a national loan fund called Seed Commons. And what they do is they offer non-extractive lending options for Black and brown individuals building cooperatives. For those folks who may not know of what non-extractive lending means. Basically, through our organization, we work with a loan fund that supports the development of a business all the way until the point that they're able to break even or become profitable before they're even required to repay back the loan. Let me say it simpler than that. You are supported financially and you are not required to pay back on that loan initially until you become profitable or you have some form of sustainability. This is what non-extractive lending is. And that's how we're able to support the education, to support the technical support of youth, young-minded, young adults who want to develop cooperatives, okay, that need that support. And then we also able to get them that financial support. Doing this work, we've come across a lot of our folks that have the great vision. I mean, look at it. We're creative all day. You walk up and down the street, you see people selling, something, but a lot of times we're not collecting them. A lot of times we're denied loans. A lot of times we're afraid to even take on that debt. So we also have to do a form of self-education and collectivizing that effort, that worrisome doubt about collecting debt, and pair it with cooperation to help our people see further than we're able to see right now. Our initial plan was to launch a program that engages youth and young adults at their current level. That's it. And we want to improve their understanding and to help guide them through a series of informational steps that consequently help them at developing and growing their competency levels in areas of business, cooperative ownership, governance, co-ops 101, the legacy of cooperatives, interpersonal development, and improving hard and soft employment skills. The ultimate goal, again, metrics that we've been looking at to gauge how we're doing, is to decrease the rate of unemployed, underemployed Black and brown young adults in the Bay Area, while increasing the number of Black and brown businesses through cooperative ownership in the Bay Area amongst Black young adults, brown young adults, ranging from the age of 21 to 29 initially. But we feel like if you have, if you're in a space of economic concern, of sustainability, in our communities, ain't no telling when you're gonna have to start contributing to the family. Ain't no telling when you're gonna have to start contributing to the bills. Whenever you get to that state, we wanna work with you and let you know that you ain't gotta do it alone. That this dream of individual success, that you gotta climb to the mountaintop, that is lonely at the top, no. That's all, we've been hoodwinked. As El Haj Malik El Shabazz would say, bamboozled. We can do it collectively. All right. So through this, we've chosen, and I reiterate a few times because I know I wanted to hit. Y'all should at least get 3 points that I keep talking about. Educate, 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 and mentor participants through a structured system that's beneficial, economically, culturally, spiritually, mentally, physically, financially. Informational, just like this conference that you can see today, this plethora of information. We almost to the hour point. We ain't even to the hour point mark. Look what y'all getting. Look what I'm getting. We're getting, and it's applicable. Okay, things that you can actually apply. How many of us has been to a business workshop or watch something on YouTube and you like, what is this? I'm just trying to figure out how to get some money. I'm just trying to figure out how to get some sales. What are they talking about? We want to break it down to the smallest minute step and work with you. We look at ourselves as dream doulas, financial cooperative business doulas. We want to help you along the process, and we'll be with you every step of the way. And we also want to make sure that while people are doing this is kind of new, a little evolutionary, that people are financially supported while doing so. Okay, I'm just doing a quick break. I really hope a lot of y'all is at the house on the couch and just can't come on the Zoom, because I don't see too many black faces. I see the moderators, I see the panelists, but just for a second, there we go. Oh, woo! I see some. Yep, it's a lot of beautiful profile pictures. But let me get back to it. We about to wrap it up. We almost do. Hope I didn't hold y'all for too long, but we got to sit down and we got to break this down, because a lot of times we hear about the utopian unicorn. Oh man, it's tough, family. It's tough to build cooperatives, but the beautiful thing, what ain't tough that we've been doing? It's tough to be black and brown and to hold it down. It's tough to be a positive male role model. It's tough to be a divine feminine in today's world and hold your ground. It's tough all around. So it behooves, it makes, we cannot be behooved to think that it will be easy to do it collectively. Okay? So as we come to the end of our chat and letting you know where we're at, we want to invite you all to look into yourself first. Okay? Look into yourself first. Identify what's inside you that's making it hard for you to work with somebody else. Work with your family. Work with mama and daddy on helping get their credit up. Working with grandma to help get that back fixed, that backyard fence. Because what we've identified is that if we cannot identify the conflict within, we will be oblivious to the conflict without. That is a natural process of building. It's conflict of renewal. It's a part of the game, man. So we invite you all to spend time. We got a lot of other information coming on, but when y'all think about repairing nations, stop, pause, look in the mirror, kiss yourself, see the beauty, and identify what we need to work on, okay, to show up better next time in the circle with everyone else. And then everything else is there, family. The ancestors is there. The sister just broke it down, beautiful sister, broke it down. Both sisters broke it down about how we need to rename, reshape the conversation in our favor. And we're letting you know, as Repair Nations, we got the connection to the technical support. And eventually, if that's what your goal is, to get you the bread. But we got to be here. We got to be here. Okay? We got a lot more in common with our brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying, than just our clothing, our rhythms, you know what I'm saying, our dynamic sisters, our powerful brothers. We got more in common than the pyramids. We got more in common than the foods that we eat, the things that we like. Shoot, we got more in common than just the red, black, and green and the red, green, and white. We got more in common than our hair texture and our shapes and sizes. We got more in common, family. Now it's on us to figure out how to make that commonality work in our best behalf, in our favor. I think that's the fun part. So once again, we're Repair Nations. Repair Nations is us. We were repairing the nations all over the globe. You are Repair Nation. Let's make sure that we got our game right and our game tight so we can move with light. All right. And a lot of times our elders like to say, the struggle. This is the fight, family. Let's Let's get ready to knock this out this generation. So our babies, our babies can do what they called to do, which is beautify the heck out this mug. So once again, I think I'm in a little early, but I think we gave y'all enough to hold y'all over. This is Brother Tut with Repair Nations, and we'll pass it back to the moderators. Much love to y'all. Please reach out to us if you got your ideas or your visions, and check out next year for the book club. Everybody's welcome. That's it. I said enough. Love y'all.